everybody. Welcome in. I hope everybody is having a great day. There is a poll at the top. Please chime in on the poll. Chime in on the poll when you have a chance. And I am going to, I'm going to exit out of the poll for just 1 second. Let me pull it up on my computer as well. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Jump in the poll, please. Jump in the poll. Oh gosh, access. Oh, no, no, no. There we go. All right. I can see it now. Hey, Mary Lack. Good morning. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Please jump in the poll above because I definitely want to see what your perspective is on all of the shipping changes. So if you're a seller, please answer the poll. Answer the poll. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning. We'll get started in just a second, okay? Let me hold y'all up a little bit. Just riding. Okay, yeah. So welcome in, and answer the poll. Okay, so all right, we've got two answers, and both are medium up to 5 pounds. You can guess what our topic of discussion is going to be today. Anybody want to guess? Was it last Wednesday or Thursday? We had some very interesting news from WhatNot that we kind of anticipated. Yes. Mary Lack said, fun shipping. Yes. We anticipated it was coming, but I have to be honest, the flat rate threw me off. I sometimes sell clothes as well. And even if I do like jewelry lots, the flat rate comes in so handy. So we want to talk about that. But let me say, you're the same, Mary Lack. Let me say, I'm not the expert, okay, by any means. You all know what I do. I go to WhatNot. I read what they've told us, and then we kind of chat about it, okay? So I just want to bring it up because I know it has been a huge deal. Let me share this show out to a couple of people. Hold on one quick second. Uh, do, do. Um, Hold on just a second. Let's see. Oh, and I've got to turn that fan on. Oh, um, okay. Let's see. I don't understand how to, okay, hold on, guys. It's just letting me do one at a time. There we go. Okay. All right. So if you haven't already, please jump in the poll. Jump in the poll. Hold on 1 second. Let me turn the ceiling fan on. Okay. So we're going to talk about it. Y'all tell me what your immediate reaction was when you saw or heard whichever vehicle of communication was applicable to you. What was your first reaction to the shipping changes? Were you like, well, no big deal? Did you freak out a little bit? What was your reaction? What was your reaction? I freaked out. And that was me not even thinking through it. It was just my initial reaction. I freaked out. Mary Lack was shocked for a few minutes, then ordered boxes and had coffee. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I always have boxes. Um, I was freaked out about the cost. If I'm selling clothing, or every now and again, I'll go back to what I sold when I first came on the app, which was vintage decor. And so I used flat rate quite a bit for that. But I also, if something was too big to fit in a flat rate box, I also used ground advantage. So it's really just reverting back to good morning, good morning. Please jump in the poll if you're a seller. So interestingly enough, I've settled down now. And I didn't freak out long either. I was like, when change happens, what do you do but roll with it and adapt? And, you just do what you have to do. But let me go. I am going to go to help.whatnot.com. If anybody wants to follow along, we're reading and we're going to try to understand as best we can. Of course, there's several sellers who've been talking about this, several community hosts who've been talking about this. So in the search bar, I'm going to type in shipping changes. And by default, it'll be the first option that comes up. Oh, no, it's not. Nope, nope, no, it's not. Hold on. Let me go back and look. Shipping. And they keep updating it, y'all. I was on here last night trying to prepare for this show. And I was on there about 10 o'clock last night. And good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I was on there last night trying to prepare for this show. And it was just updated at 9, I think 25 p.m. So let's see here. Let me see if I can get it on my iPad. I was on my phone. Upcoming changes to USPS shipping on WhatNot. That's the title of it. Okay. All right, y'all. So what I see initially is starting in early August 2026, shipping costs for USPS packages between 1 and 5 pounds. 1 and 5 pounds will decrease for US sellers and buyers. And let me just stop. Yes, this was the last update. This was updated last night at 9:25. You can see that just pretty much daily they're adding things. Mary Lack said, I experienced it at a show on Monday. Looks like only 2 out of 12 packages were over 5 pounds and cost about $4 more than under 5 pounds. Okay, okay. And I started weighing my packages too, the ones that I did flat rate. And I only had one, and it was a gaming console. I only had one that was just over 5 pounds. So it's interesting when you start really breaking it down and looking at it, what you actually find. Good morning. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Okay, so it also says, as part of these updates, Ground Advantage will become the default USPS shipping service on WhatNot. Ground Advantage will become the default shipping service on WhatNot. Flat rate shipping will no longer be supported. Thank you for the follow. Flat rate shipping will no longer be supported, and priority mail will still be available as an optional shipping service. Now, if I remember when this article came out before, and it may go back into this again. Good morning, you all. It also said priority mail would be an option, but would cost considerably more. I don't know if that's somewhere else in here or not. I can't remember. But I do remember reading that when it first came out. So here's the thing. For us who, whether it's primarily how we ship or if we just use it sometimes, um, it also says most sellers won't need to take any action before these changes take effect. If you currently use flat rate packaging, you'll need to switch to alternative packaging. Like Mary Lack said, she read it, went to buy some boxes and had some coffee. So, our initial reaction is usually always the best or the worst. Is usually the extreme. And so that was it for me too. But change is just inevitable. If you are currently using flat rate shipping, you'll need to switch to alternative packaging. If you use priority mail packaging, review the packing guidelines below before shipping with Ground Advantage. Using flat rate or priority packaging with a Ground Advantage label may result in a USPS carrier fee of up to $20. Up to $20. Y'all, I don't know about you all, but I think we pay enough fees, so let's avoid any additional fees that we have to pay, particularly if it's up to $20. This fee will be charged to your WhatNot account balance. Okay, so let's get into the nitty gritty. It says Ground Advantage will become the default shipping option. So if you ship medium packages that are 1 to 5 pounds, what you'll usually pay is $7.20. That's $6.85 plus fees is how they have it marked. Good morning, everybody. Join the poll if you haven't already, please. Medium packages 1 to 5 pounds, which is what the default right now is to priority. The default is going to be Ground Advantage, and it's going to cost around $7.20. Okay. Now, the paragraph above it says packages weighing 1 to 5 pounds will use the new USPS Ground Advantage rates with shipping costs expected to decrease by about 20% in August. So if the poll were substantial on a wider base, most of us are going to be saving money, or most of our customers, depending on your business model, will be saving money versus spending additional money. Flat rate shipping will no longer be supported. And packages, this was the part that they continue to add and update. And so check this page often, because every day they're adding a little more to it. Packages under 1 pound will use simplified pricing. Good morning, good morning. So, for instance, this is what I found very interesting yesterday. Types of shipment. So, if you have small packages, and for us who sell jewelry or like maybe little minis, this is a really big deal. Type of shipment, small packages that weigh less than 4 ounces, you will usually pay $4.47. Now remember, if we're using Ground Advantage, it can change depending on how far the package has to travel. Good morning, welcome in. And Mary Lack said, I ordered boxes almost the same size as the medium flat rate priority, but tweaked the sizes narrower when remembering that, okay, yeah, to add filler to so many. That's smart. So it gives you that flexibility to really, if you think about it, since we're paying for packaging now, we can also save money on other materials because you can customize the size to what you want. So that gives us good flexibility. Good morning, you all. Great point, Mary Lack. Thank you so much. So small packages, fewer than 4 ounces, You will usually pay $4.47. This is all Ground Advantage shipping prices, okay? Small packages, and what they're considering small packages is anything under the 1 pound. Um, oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Lori. Anything under the 1 pound, of course, we see those incremental shipping rates. 0 to 1 ounce, 1 to 3 ounces, 4 to 7 ounces, 8 to 11 ounces, 12 to 15. So this is kind of breaking that out for us. So small packages less than 4 ounces, 4.47 is what we're going to typically pay. Small packages that are less than 8 ounces is 4.87. And you all, I'm reading this directly from WhatNot, help.whatnot.com. And make sure you read it for yourself. Make sure you read it often because they're doing updates all the time to give us a little bit of more information. Okay. The last update was done last night at 9:25 p.m. All right, small packages less than 12 ounces will typically cost $5.25, and small packages less than a pound, less than 16 ounces, will cost $6.57. Okay, so right now that is a savings. Remember, up to 5 pounds, we're paying 9.21. Well, right, 9.21 right at the pound. I don't know what it is at 12 to 15 ounces. Hey, Dr. Ree, do you think we have to be more specific on our box sizes now? I've honestly never changed it, but it's been okay. I always use my own packaging. That's a great question. And I'll give you, I'm not the expert, so I'm just going to give you my thought, okay? A lot of people say if your packaging is less than, if the dimensions are less than 12 by 12 by 12, you don't necessarily have to worry about it. I personally think with these changes coming into effect, it can only help to be more specific with our sizes. I think that anything that we can do to make sure our packaging is correct, our sizing is correct, and our weight is correct is going to be paramount because we're now going to instead of a standard rate per se, we're going to varied rates. Oh yeah, you don't want any problems. I know it. So it does look like if we're shipping less than a pound, we're going to save money. All right. And if we're shipping, I'm sorry, if we're shipping 1 to 5 pounds, we're going to save money. Now, those other rates, I don't pay as much attention to those, but I think they're less as well if I'm on the buyer end. Are they letting us keep the 5 adjustments? They haven't said yet. They haven't said it yet. And y'all, I'm reading this straight from WhatNot, help.whatnot.com. And just input in the search bar shipping changes. They update all the time. Mary Lack said, I may still do reduced shipping since so few of mine are over 5 pounds anyway. I will be a lot more cautious on my lowest weight items. I agree. And I don't know what I'm doing with that yet. I can't even make a decision because I guess if I did reduced shipping, uh-uh. I don't know. I don't know. It's going to depend on what I'm selling. If I'm selling jewelry, I could, but I also kind of can change. I have a little bit more wiggle room with jewelry um, because it's under 1 pound and not being charged an adjustment or a fee. So I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about that. Dr. Reese said all buyers pay. I know. And it may end up being for a lot of sellers. Y'all, if you have not answered the poll, get in the poll because I want to see what the response is. So if you're a seller and haven't answered, please jump in there. It may be a situation where you will see more buyer paid shipping. It very well may be. I think there are a lot of different ways to look at this because with shipping, the reduced shipping banner on your screen tends to get more people in. Um, and you have to think about that psychology a little bit as well. Hey, didn't know I needed that. Good morning. Hey, jump in the poll. Jump in the poll, please. If I see a reduced shipping show versus a show that's not reduced shipping show, it doesn't matter as much to me. Um, I am more of the person who's like, I love this seller, or this looks like an interesting show. Let me pop in. Or someone has said, you've got to join such and such shows. It's so much fun, or they have great products, or whatever. So I'm not sure how much of an influence it is for me, but for others, I can tell you what they've said is they don't go to a show unless it has reduced shipping or free shipping as a banner. And I guess they think they're automatically getting some type of discount. But a lot of times, y'all, think about it. If there is an amount of shipping that we as sellers have to pay, we've thought about that as we've priced our items. We've worked that into that business model, hopefully. So it kind of just depends. No, Mary Lack said, on Monday, I set mine to buyer pays all and very little change for customers. Took notes and asked customers to let me know the screen prices. That's a great idea. That's a great idea. I may need to do that. I may need to do that. The other question I have about that, Mary Lack, too, is, now if we cap shipping, let's say at that 921 price and use flat rate as our option, um, it's not charging us in real time. I kind of want to know what that looks like too, because I like being in control of the amount of shipping that I pay. Uh, Dr. Reese said I usually do max low shipping on my jewelry clear outs, like $4 to $5. Yeah, and I've never paid on my end. Same with me. Same with me. And Mary, like, that is a great idea. Absolutely, it is. Want to be prepared way in advance. I agree. Y'all, I got to get these. I got to sell some clothes because I have got to get these priority flat rate boxes out because I don't want to deal with all of that with the clothes. They're already stressful enough for me. This is really good feedback, you all. Really good feedback. Now, of course, most of us know this, but this is also on the page as well. Ground advantage, use your own packing materials. Do not use USPS flat rate boxes and envelopes, nor can you use USPS priority mail packaging. Um, you may do a private show after the change and just run stuff and take more. That's a really good idea. And that's one of the things they suggested on this page as well, is to do a private show and play around with your items. Make sure you're weighing them so you can have accurate data to measure. But that is a great idea. If you plan to ship with priority mail, you can use your own packing materials or you can use US priority mail packaging that isn't marked flat rate. USPS flat rate boxes and envelopes you cannot use, okay? Dr. Reese said, other than my jewelry shows, I've always put buyer pays all. I still have good sales and no one has ever complained of the shipping. I always weigh. I saw you do that yesterday when you were selling your bundles. You were weighing them. You were weighing them as you were creating them. I love that. I absolutely love that. And that's what we're going to have to get into that habit of doing. We're just going to have to establish some different best practices and we're going to have to roll with it, roll with it. And I also think I've heard Daisy Lane talk about this. Um, she used to do free shipping. I think doesn't she does do reduced shipping right now, if I remember correctly. But when she changed from free shipping to reduced shipping, she didn't see there was no pushback for her buyers, if I remember correctly. Mary Lack, correct me if I'm wrong about that. But I think I remember her saying that, there wasn't a change. Y'all, welcome in, everybody. If you haven't answered the questions in the poll, please do. I do want to address that. We are reading today from help.whatnot.com. We're reading on these shipping changes that's been all the talk in the Whatnot streets this week. And last week. Please click on that poll. I want to see, let me see where we are with that poll. All right. So we have 56% who ship typically small, under a pound. We have 33% that ship up to 5 pounds, so that's considered medium. And large, over 5 pounds, we have 11%, which is just one response, though, okay? So as a seller who sells large, over 5 pounds, this is what's also come up is yeah, yep, yep. That's right, Dr. Reed. Oh, and thank you for the share. I appreciate you. So if we have sellers affected and negatively affected by prices over 5 pounds, a lot of people who are, have been around Whatnot for a long time are considered kind of even the community host or considered just well-respected sellers who understand the business of it all, have said that this is possibly the way that we may be able to introduce additional carriers. I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. The more options we have, the better. Now, this is what I was saying earlier. So Mary Lack said, and this is about Daisy Lane, she hasn't lost customers. Grown-ups know someone has to pay shipping. Amen, honey. Amen. The ones who would complain are maybe not our customers. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And people have to realize too, that's where I was getting ready to go. This psychology of free shipping and this psychology of reduced shipping comes by the best of the best when it comes to marketing, and that is the river, Amazon. Okay. I can order something from Amazon time and time again. Now it shows me my shipping cost. It slashes it and puts a zero beside it. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm getting free shipping. B to the S. I pay for that Prime membership every single year. I've paid for that. I've paid to have this service so that I'm not charged shipping at every transaction, but it is not free, Amazon. It is not free. Do you all have a preferred carrier? That's a great question. Yes, Lula Love, exactly. I'm paying for that. Y'all aren't doing me any favors. I have paid for that. I've absolutely paid for that. I get so irritated when I see that. Y'all know I love numbers and I'm a numbers person. And when I see that, it drives me crazy. It absolutely drives me crazy. I want to call them and say, no, you put what I'm actually paying per year for your Prime membership. Ugh. Anyway, sorry. I'm surprised at how many people said to turn their flat rate boxes. Oh, girl, yes. Okay, let me finish reading the comment. I'm sorry, I just got really, yes, passionate about that. Hey, Margarita. Okay, I am surprised at how many people said to turn their flat rate boxes inside out or overwrap and use them. Has to tell them that they will get they will get them fined. That will get them fined. It will. It is absolutely a federal offense to misuse USPS packaging. Okay. I've received packages like that. And, sometimes people just don't know, but you have to. You absolutely are going to have to change something about your business so that you are actually, let me go back to my iPad, y'all, so that you are actually, You are actually able to furnish your own packaging, furnish your own packaging, leave that USPS priority packaging alone. If you don't have a priority label, leave it alone and do the right thing. Because at the end, it's a what if I get caught? Morally, don't do it. And if you do it anyway and get caught, the price is so much more than anything that you've saved. It just doesn't make sense at all. Um, oh, did I miss what Lola Love said? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uh, Wait a minute. What did I miss? Hold on, y'all. Oh, does anybody have a preferred carrier? Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, they will be fine. Let's see. My iPad is behind. I'm sorry. You're paying for the extra tape and wrapping papers just to buy a box. And your time, y'all, your time. Yep, they will get fined. The post office has scanners that can detect their boxes. Yep. Oh, yes, this info came from a postmaster. I believe it. I believe it. And you all, the other thing, I'll share this with you. I had a show and I was doing the shipping for it yesterday. And I need systems because this won't come as a surprise. If it takes me too much time to do it, I just get upset. I get very upset. You all welcome in. If you haven't joined the poll up top, please join the poll and answer those questions for us. So I was shipping smaller items, smaller jewelry items, but I needed smaller boxes, particularly for some bangles. And I needed, because I was just sending a couple out, I wasn't sending several. And I needed smaller boxes. Well, my boxes were larger and I needed something smaller. And it started to stress me out because I didn't have what I needed and I couldn't create a system. So I found myself looking for, boxes that I had saved in the garage to find packing material, all that stuff. And it took way too much time to ship. Have a system, and I'm talking to me, have a system. So, guess what I did? I ordered some additional small boxes that now I will have on hand because no more time needs to be. You need to spend your time diligently working on your shipping efficiently so that your products get there safe, but not like me, where I was just scrambling trying to find things and it took twice as long. Just so aggravating. Um, Marilex says, y'all make friends with folks who do housekeeping in office buildings if you don't want to buy boxes. A lady at church brings a van load to me often. Wow, wow. Great suggestion. Lula Love. Okay, wait. Lula Love, what did you say? I missed your comment. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I did see that. Okay, yep, you're right. You're right. I had saved them from another platform. And now we'll use them here when needed. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, y'all, it is what it is. We need to know. And this is a good buffer of time. We have a month. We need to know, pay more attention to what we're shipping and how much that costs, particularly if we were using priority. So what that weighs, I'm sorry, not cost, but what that weighs and print out the sheet from WhatNot that kind of breaks out those price points if you're shipping less than a pound. Now, I don't know if there's just going to be a general ban for up to 5 pounds at that 720 something marked mark, but we need to pay attention to what we are shipping, the weight and the size of what we're shipping, so we can make some informed decisions within the next 30 days. If you use poly mailers, there are a few sellers on here. They sell 20 to 25 bags for $4. Wow. 5 boxes for $4. Hmm. Um, okay, Dr. Reed, can you tag them? Do you mind? Or do you think they would mind if you tag them? That's great to know. Yes. Yes. Okay, sure, absolutely. And are you feeling better today, Dr. Reed? Y'all, we're gonna fuss at our own family physician over here. She's not taking care of herself. Mm, good. Good, good, good. I'm glad to hear that. So anyway, it was just something that a lot of people reached out as soon as the news came out, and they were like, "We need to talk about this next week. We need to talk about this." And that they're I can't talk. We need to talk about this next week. We're the worst patients, Dr. Reese said. Yes, I would agree. I would agree. Um, so changes are coming. I don't think that they're bad changes necessarily. It's just a change. We'll read what WhatNot has to say, read directly from the source. If we have questions, we can also, you know, ask those questions to WhatNot to ensure we have. Oh, did I just get a raise? CG Boomerang Echo, welcome in, friend. Hello, hello. Welcome in, everybody. If you are not following CG Boomerang Echo, please give her a follow. She has amazing, amazing Ray trains that she conducts. She gives great, great seller support and advice. And the fun thing is, she talks to ghosts once a week or maybe more. CG Boomerang Echo, please let us know what you are selling and when you're selling it next. I know this morning you did your talk show and your towel and your robe. So I appreciate you, friend. Thank you so very much. We have been reading the whatnot help.whatnot.com blog and just talking about the shipping changes. In no way am I an expert on that. No way at all. But I do know that we need to take information from the source. So what we do is we go into Whatnot's blog and read what the changes are that are coming. And you all please make sure CG Boomerang Echo said she has a snack show tonight. Yay! Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. We will be there. Exercise while talking. So good. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. Let's do it. We're on the spin bike this morning, y'all. We're on the spin bike because I needed to be able to refer. Thank you all for the follows. I needed to be able to refer to the blog so we can really talk about what information is factual, because you know that there are a lot of people who take things that they've heard and run with it. Okay. I like to be factual. I like to read from the source, and I like to read what it says. If there leaves room for interpretation, you interpret it and follow up to ask Whatnot directly that question to get your answer. Okay, thank you, Dr. E. Thank you so much. So we've read the blog this morning. We're talking about the shipping changes that are coming. There is a poll at the top. So if you are a seller in here, please tell us what your typical weight of your packages are when shipped. And drop in the chat if you use priority flat rate boxes as your primary shipping source. Will you let us know that? Put a Y in the chat if you have used priority flat rate um, as your main packaging, I guess I should say. Now I'm hungry. Oh, yes. Snack show tonight. So good. So good, y'all. So good. Yes. Okay. Mary Lack says yes. Penelope, 8 to 11 ounce and reduced max shipping I use. Okay. And Cedar Hollow Farm says yes. All right. So for those of you, and I use flat rate a bit when I sell my clothing. So I think the adjustment will be okay. Wait a minute. I need to bookmark these. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. Give me 1 second to snapshot this or screenshot this. If I can't, I don't even know how to do. I don't want to do it on here. Dr. Ree, I'm gonna have to ask you to send me that later. Y'all, Dr. Ree has put some sellers in here that sell shipping supplies on the app. So you all take a note of those if you're interested. All right. So what I was gonna say is with the flat rate, I was selling a retro game console the other day. This was right after the announcement came out, and I ship it flat rate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I ship it flat rate. So what I did was with a flat rate, I don't weigh it because I know it doesn't weigh 70 pounds. If it fits in the box, I'm going to pack it well and it's going to go. Okay. Now, the what I did when I weighed my console is I have always made the assumption that the console was well over 5 pounds. Well, I had a console, I had a couple of controllers, and I had a couple of games in there. And do you know it weighed like 4 pounds? I want to say 10 ounces, right around that mark. I would have thought it weighed at least 6 pounds, at least 6 pounds. So that goes to show you we have a month. If we're using our flat rate, let's track and see how much those things weigh, and we can make the proper adjustments. One thing that Mary Lack said earlier, and thank you for the share. One thing that Mary Lack said earlier is that for her, with her using flat rate primarily, now that she's having to source her own boxes, she's getting boxes that are narrower. She was having to put a lot of packing material in her flat rate boxes. So it gives you the opportunity to automatically customize that box size, because y'all know flat rate sizes are just we know what they are. Okay, it's just hard to deal with. So great opportunity, but it can be hard to deal with depending on what you're selling. So it gives her the opportunity to purchase her boxes at a customizable size that works well for her. So that's a great way to think about it. That's a very, very positive way to think about it. So, just something to think about, something to consider as we maneuver through this. It's a change, it's inevitable. If we're selling boxes, and it looks like the majority of us are, we have 37% of us who typically sell boxes that are under a pound. So our rates, or the rates that we pass on to buyers, will go down. Or we'll go down just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I don't know if they'll actually go down or if they're stable, because that seems to me, when we looked at the blog today, and it's updated all the time, y'all. The last time WhatNot updated the help.whatnot.com for the shipping changes was last night at 9:25 p.m. So you can also see that they're giving us more information day by day. So stay on top of that. But if we're selling less than a pound, those bands seem to be pretty close to what they were. If we're selling 1 to 5 pounds, there's a little bit of room for interpretation, because what it says is 1 to 5 pounds, you will typically pay $7.20 some odd cents. Well, does that mean there's going to be a range? Just that whole band of 1 to 5 pounds is going to be $7.21? I'm not sure how to interpret that. So if anybody has any feedback on that, I would love it as well. So if we're in those two categories, and if we understand that medium category correctly, then we should be able to save about 20%, as they said. Over 5 pounds, the large packaging, yet to be determined how that works out. Okay. I know that it's supposed to be a commercial rate that we're given. So that may be a good thing, but we have to wait and see what that looks like. But I do know, like Mary like said, it gives you the opportunity, and thank you so much for the follow. It gives you the opportunity to really customize the size of your boxes. Okay. So make sure we take that opportunity to do what we need to do for our business. There may be some things we have to change within our business with our pricing structure, with our giveaway, whatever it is, to make sure that our numbers are what they need to be. But we have the time to do it. So let's make sure that we're really, really crunching that data this month. Okay, thank you, Dr. Reed, for those recommendations. Okay, you all. Anyone else have anything that they want to contribute about this shipping conversation? Y'all, sorry, I'm riding the bike. I'm not riding hard, but that's why I'm kind of winded. So y'all forgive me. But this is our little we we have an exercise show every Wednesday morning at 6:22. Sometimes we're outside walking, but because today, number one, it's so humid outside. But number two, I want it to be able, whenever I'm talking about something that is a change that's coming, I want to make sure it's factual. Okay. So I will always go directly to whatnot. And I will read what they say. I can give you my interpretation of what that means. I listen to a lot of other, what I consider to be master and seasoned and respected sellers on the app. I take in what they say, but I always go read it for myself. And that's what I want everyone else to do. Mary Lack says, because of weight bands they have now, we have packing supply weight if mailing one item. Huh. But most customers buy more than 1 pound, so it kicks up the total. Okay. And shows more than 5 pounds, but could be 4. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see exactly what you're saying. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. That is interesting. One of the other things that Mary Lack suggested earlier, and it's also on the WhatNot blog, is to schedule a private show during these in between times so you can pay attention to which items will fall into which band and look at the correlated cost for those items. Print the chart. There's a chart that WhatNot has on the help.whatnot.com shipping page, shipping changes page. Print it out. It's going to show you the bands for the small category. You know, like we have the um, 1 to 3 ounces, 4 to 7 ounces, 8 to 11, 12 to 15 ounces. Those are a little different. It's under 4 ounces, under 8 ounces, under 12 ounces is how they have it listed on there right now. So print that out, do a private show, and play around with what you're finding. And shows mine are 5 pounds, but it could be 4. That is so strange to me. That is really strange to me. Mary Lack, what do you think about that? What are you thinking as a solution for that? We'll need to know. Let's see. Mary Lack said, we'll need to weigh so much closer when auctioning on the fly. Oh, with random items. Yeah, that's true. If a person buys 10 items, those 1 or 2 ounces add up. That's very true. That's very true. So, are you thinking, like, let me ask you this, Mary Lack, and anyone else, does anyone use custom profiles? Like, I sell jewelry. I have a custom profile for my jewelry because I count more for the first um, item because of packaging than I do for the other items. Rarely. Okay. Anybody else use custom profiles? I think that's going to have to change for me, and I'm definitely going to have to do some private shows to see what I need to change. Oh, yeah. Dr. E makes a good point. Check your carrier adjustments as well. I've improved mine with weighing and adjusting my weight to include extra ounces for packaging. Absolutely. When that first came out, I was shocked. You're starting to use them? Okay. Yep. Um, I was shocked when those adjustments first came out. I'm now down to zero, y'all. I'm so glad. But I was at like 6% initially. And I was like, really? And I'm pretty cautious about if I'm just sending something as a ground advantage. I'm pretty cautious about that. Like I will go over the weight versus under the weight. So I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have to. Yes, yes. Those adjustments tell a story, y'all. And at some point, the plan is to charge us for those adjustments. I guess Whatnot is just, they've eaten it for a while. And I guess now's the time that it's coming back on us. So we have to do our due diligence as sellers and just make sure that we're keeping abreast of what's happening. I think Whatnot Sellers, is today Wednesday? Whatnot Sellers should be on today as well. Is the time 1 o'clock that they come on? I believe it's 1 o'clock Central Standard Time or 2 o'clock Eastern Time. But I'm definitely going to try, if I can, to catch that show today. If not, I'll watch it on YouTube later because I do want to hear more about if they're going to give the opportunity, if they're going to talk more about the shipping changes, which I'm sure that they will. Yeah, yeah, $1 to $2. Yes. Double check your scales too. Oh, I checked all of mine and found several were off a few ounces. Even an ounce matters now. Well, that's true. I didn't think about that, but that is true. It sure is true. But when I saw that, I was like, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All of these have, yeah. And you have to think about it. For me, as a much smaller seller, the ones and twosies, and I'm newer. So the ones and twosies are going to affect us a lot more than a more seasoned seller that has that worked into their numbers for their business model. We really, really do have to be careful and be diligent about what we're doing. We always want to do a great job anyway, but it is going to, the correlative effect for us is much higher than it is for a larger business that has it built in and has more cushion, um, sourcing differently, so the margins are higher. So anyway, there's a lot more to consider too if you're a smaller seller or a newer seller. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, let's see here. So the Marillac said Daisy Lane had issues because of a scale weighing 2 ounces less without her realizing it. Oh, wow. What, I didn't hear that one, Mary. Like, what type of issues did she have? Did she have like an a one of the not adjustments? What were we just talking about? The variances, the issue of the variances and Whatnot said it cost something else. Green 13 had an experience too. If I remember correctly, he said, I think he said this on Sunday. He was saying that Whatnot said that one of his packages, whatever weight it was astronomically more than it actually weighed. So now for his system, they put the package on the scale, and when they're scanning the items, you know how we have to scan the code. They scan the code with the scale so they can show the item with the label on the scale. It's y'all. Yeah. She had extra charges. Yes. Okay. Okay. Wow. Wow. And I know, I mean, Daisy Lane is very particular about how she ships and what she ships, and she tries to do things right. We're human, so we'll all make mistakes. We will absolutely all make mistakes, but it can definitely happen to any of us, any and all. So let's just be diligent. Check our scales, make sure they're calibrated. It's going to take a little more time, so include that. You know me and time. Include that in the time allocation that you're spending on the app and adjust accordingly. I typically get an extra ounce or two to my boxes when buying labels just to be safe. I do that too. I absolutely do that too, particularly if I'm doing a ground advantage. A ground advantage. I absolutely do that. And now I'm going to have to do it all the time because ground advantage is going to be it. So we'll see. We were talking earlier about this may possibly be the way that new carriers are introduced as well. I'm so interested to see if any of that information comes out soon and kind of what those rates will be. One of the suggestions, I think it was what Liz Likes said this was to play around on like a pirate ship to see what those commercial rates were under different carriers. And if you sell on other platforms, particularly the Bay, you may be kind of used to what that looks like. Yes, we will get new habits in place to be ready. Absolutely. We have to. We absolutely have to. Y'all, this is changing. Whether we like it or not, it's changing. I don't think it's going to be a bad thing, though. I think change just takes time in our brains to understand so we can kind of redesign and refine some of our processes and then kind of play around with it. So I love the time that we're having to use as a buffer. There's just a lot of things coming at once, I think, with the shipping variance charges and with the carrier changes and the weights. So we just need to wrap our head around it all. And most importantly, y'all, please, please, please keep abreast of that WhatNot, help.whatnot.com shipping changes site. Because like I said, it is changing all the time. It changed at 9:25 last night. 9:25 last night. So anyway, and I will be the first one to say, I'm going to have to now get better systems in place with my shipping. I do not like being inefficient with shipping. Okay. I do not like it. I love doing my shows. I love doing my setups. And then it's on me. It was nothing but me. I didn't have, because of the types of items that I sold bangles and I sold just a couple of them per order versus, a larger amounts like a bangle stack. And I didn't have enough boxes for what I needed. Okay. And that was on me. So I found myself going through to scrounge for boxes that would work for that size. I don't want to ship them in a big, a larger size box because it would just be packing tape. It just didn't make sense. So that's on me. I have to do better about that for myself and make my shipping more efficient and get in my mind with these changes. I'm going to have to pay even more attention to that. So that's my lesson in all of this as well. One more thing I wanted to talk about. We had a challenge last week. Does anybody remember what the challenge was from last week? If you were here last week, do you remember what our challenge was? Oh, Mary Lack says she wants to get a bubble machine. But in the meantime, I bought the kind of bubbles you can pump up yourself and make a perfect box filler. Oh, yeah. I've heard a lot of people talk about the bubble machines and they really like them. Didn't know I needed that. I really appreciate your fast shipping on your orders. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you so much. I thank you for that feedback. I appreciate you. So you all, last week we kind of I guess it was towards the end of the conversation. We kind of talked about branding and we talked about the WhatNot rewards program. And if as a seller, if you use the WhatNot rewards program, I did the last 2 quarters. I did not this quarter. I want to compare and see where we are. I know that my last 2 quarters reward system, if I continue to use it, it's going to need to be redesigned because it just wasn't, I said rigorous last week. That's really not the word I'm looking for, but the tiers were too close. The ways to achieve the tiers were too close. So I've got to redesign that if I bring it back. But I also said that for the week, I was going to use a coupon code. You didn't do it this time. Did you do your coupon code this week, Dr. Ree? Or do you always do a coupon code for new buyers? Okay, I love the coupon code. So you all today, now I did this in one show and then forgot to do it in the others. So I take full responsibility all on me. But I wanted you to see what I did. So y'all click on I don't know where you see the show notes. It's probably this way. Click on the show notes. Click on my show notes and tell me what you see. Lula Love, you've never used him? Try it this week. Try it and see if it makes a difference. Try it and see if it makes. And thank you for the follow. Try it and see if you makes a difference. Okay. So now the way I have it set up is when you click on the coupon code, for new buyers. Yep. When you click on the coupon code, let's see what it does. Oh, it won't let me click on it because I'm in my own account. It lets me edit it. But it shows your code shows up. And if you click on it, does it add it to your wallet? Yes, yes. I think the coupon code works really, really well. I will love to do I need to do more of the buyer giveaways, but I'm gonna use a coupon code for the new buyers. I've just got to remember to add my show notes every time to my show. It tells me it can't be added in the live stream. I wonder if it's because I'm community. Or Mary Lack, have you ordered something before? Hmm. All right. Thank you for that feedback. I'm going to have to figure that out too. So that's going to be my homework to figure out yeah, I don't remember. It can't be added during the live stream. Hmm. I bet it's because it's because it's community and I have it set to buy now. I bet that's what it is. I bet that's what it is. Okay. I'll try it differently next week for us to experience. I'll try it this week in my shows as well. So this live stream. Okay. So maybe that's what it is because I'm in community and I have the show set to a buy now show. Maybe that's the reason it can't be used. All right. Thank you all for that feedback. But that's what it looks like. And so I kind of met my challenge this week, kind of, sort of, although I messed it up on this show. So I apologize about that. All right, you guys. Well, we are just over our hour mark. Um, Says same if I put it in the wallet, can't add. Okay. Okay. I'll play around with that. I'll probably make a new code or of some sort and play around with it next week and see what happens. And I'll try it in my shows this week as well. All right, you all, I'm sure there's going to be breaking news from now until next week on our chat. But if there are any topics that you want to talk about, please let me know. I'm happy to do the research and kind of prepare kind of an outline for us to talk through. So let me know. It also helps when I do these types of shows on the bike, because I can look down at my iPad and look at you and still have the engagement and you're not bouncing everywhere. So I kind of do like this setup better. But if there's anything that you can think of that you want to talk about, let me know. Of course, you know that hey, Faithfully Created. You have missed the entire show, friend. I love you. I love you. Um, if if there are things that you think about, send me a DM, let me know. You all know I always say this. I love to research, love to learn. I'm always listening to learn, and I'm always verifying. Okay? Remember, trust but verify? I always verify. I always want to read it from the source. So if I can't find the source, if it's something that affects our business directly, if I can't find the source, then I'm probably not talking about it. If there are things that we want to discuss and just have, like, a brainstorming conversation, or like what's working for me, and have those kind of best practices talks, that's always good as well. So you all let me know some things. I'll think about some things as well. And let's plan on getting together next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel, and we'll do it from the bike. Unless I don't have if I don't need to refer to anything, we may walk, but I kind of like the bike better because, like I said, it's stable. Well, as I always say, y'all, mwah, mwah, much love to each of you. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Lola Love. Thank you. Thank you. Please join us, y'all, every Wednesday. Bookmark and follow. Next Wednesday show is not there. I don't know how I missed this Wednesday show in my lineup. So I will put a show in. As soon as we get off, I'll put a show in for next Wednesday. But please come back in just a second and bookmark and follow. Okay. Let's continue the conversation. Whatever y'all want to talk about, we will do it. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mary Lack. I appreciate you. Thank you all for joining. Let's see who we can raid. Let's see. Let's go into Zoe's treasures. You know, she's going to bring the fire. She's going to have some great information, very data driven. So let's go see Zoe, okay? You all have a great day. Please put some elephants in the chat when you get there. And oh, let me just say this. I ordered I'm going to do a shameless plug for her. I ordered one of their live seller links. And Noel was so helpful. He's always so helpful. And I got it in the other day. Y'all, if you're a seller, and if you want to advertise your business on the go, I highly, highly recommend that you make that. I think it was a $12 purchase. With postage rates. It's well worth it. My picture is, I wish I could show you. It's on the back of my phone. It's a little NFC card. And my picture, or you can have your logo on there as well. This is Zoe's Treasures. We're rating into them. We're rating into them now. And they have look at their a buy now tab in their shop, and they have a live seller link. Live seller link, and it is amazing. You need it. If you're going to, even if you're outsourcing, or if you're going to conferences, if you're going to big marketing events, or just even if you're out on the street and someone maybe compliments something that you have on, and you start up a networking conversation, it is amazing. It's just kind of like one of those digital business cards, but it links everything and you can customize it to whatever you want it to be to reflect your brand. So I'll send you, was that Lola Love who asked me that? I'll send you a picture of it, Lola Love. I'll send you a picture of mine right after this, okay? All right, y'all. Love you guys. Love you guys. QR code. It's not a QR code. There's a QR code to sign up for it, but it's more like you don't have to scan anything. It's more like the tapping feature. If I put my phone directly to yours, it asks you for permission to open my info, and it just opens it. And it's all right there. Hey, Lilies. Hey, sis. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining. Come see us, girl. Every Wednesday, we're on the bike or we're outside walking, and we're here for an hour, and we're just trying to grow and be better. So please join us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, 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 yes. I appreciate you so much. All right, y'all. Any more questions about the live seller link? All right. Let's go ahead and go see Zoe's and get some more information. She may be talking about taxes today. Who knows? I hate that conversation, but it's July 1st. So we'll see. All right, you guys. Love you guys. See you see you anytime. Please bookmark and follow all of my shows. Come see me anytime. But definitely, this is our time for conversation next Wednesday. All right, here we go.